¿Es el trading halal o haram? Supongo que si estás en este vídeo es porque tienes esa pregunta que lamentablemente en español encuentras muy pocas respuestas para ello. Y como musulmán entiendo que te preocupa dónde metes tu dinero y cómo estás ganando tu dinero, porque si es permitido o no permitido es muy importante para cualquier musulmán. Y el trading es algo que se ha vuelto muy popular, sobre todo entre nuestros jóvenes. Un método para de alguna forma ganar dinero rápido, intentando descifrar cómo se mueve el mercado, sabiendo cómo suben y bajan esas velas. De alguna manera u otra, algunos dicen que ganan mucho dinero. Otros no creo que tanto, pero vemos cursos, vemos grupos de Telegram y vemos continuamente hablando de la palabra trading, estilos de vida de lujo que atraen a nuestros jóvenes, que les tienen enganchados a este teléfono móvil viendo si baja o sube una vela, viendo si van a ganar o no dinero y por si pueden en algún momento disfrutar de ese mismo estilo de vida, coches, lujos, viajes, y te dicen que lo puedes hacer todo desde un simple ordenador. ¿Pero es esto halal o haram? Para el vídeo de hoy he contactado con un experto en la materia. He de deciros que he estado meses esperando para poder tener esta entrevista. Y para ello he traído a nada más y nada menos que Almir Colan. Almir Colan es un hermano bosnio, profesor de ciencias islámicas y experto en finanzas islámicas. Así, a lo largo de su canal ha estado hablando mucho de estos temas mucho más complejos a nivel financiero y sobre todo profundizando en aquello de las finanzas islámicas. Y he decidido invitarle hoy para que nos dé esa respuesta que algunos de nosotros necesitamos para saber si podemos invertir o no en este método que supuestamente te va a hacer rico. Pero para daros un detalle más, me he puesto aquí lo que es el currículum de Almir Colan, experto en finanzas islámicas, economía y gestión, es director del Centro de Finanzas Islámicas de Australia y fundador de Muslim Money Matters. Además asesora a diversas instituciones que ofrecen servicios financieros islámicos y es miembro de un grupo de trabajo en la Organización de Contabilidad y Auditoría para instituciones financieras islámicas. Es decir, es de aquellos que dice si esto cumple o no con la ley islámica. ¿Y por qué es importante encontrar, y antes de empezar con el vídeo, a alguien experto en la materia? Porque no cualquier persona reúne los conocimientos islámicos y los conocimientos de finanzas. Y eso es muy importante para hablar a nivel de estos temas. El imán de tu mezquita probablemente no sea experto en finanzas. Y eso es algo imprescindible a la hora de dar veredictos jurídicos. Así que sin más dilación, espero que disfrutéis de este vídeo y que tengáis la respuesta a eso que tanto ansiáis. Bismillah. Thank you, professor, for being here. It's been like a long time of me wanting to have a meeting with you and maybe a call with you. I'm a big fan of your videos. That it was a random TikTok, the first one I saw, and really? You were talking about Islamic economy, and I was like, wow, this is new for me because I've never like seen nothing specified into like Islamic economy. Normally, like economics on one side and we have Islamic videos on the other side. But that TikTok, I came across it and it was great. And then I joined Muslim Money Matters and I'm in the group chat and in everything and trying to support the project.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's great to hear. It's funny how these things work.
Yeah. It's I think for young people, TikTok and this kind of platforms are really great. And then you can just dive into long format videos as YouTube and everything. But that like small clip, it was 13 seconds or something like this, or 30 seconds. And it was talking about maybe some story of the Sahabas and how they were dealing with finances. And I was like, okay, this is what I really needed. Like someone talking about economy from an Islamic side and not really just talking about Islam and fiqh issues, but talking about real economy that we live in today, right?
And now you are in was it Madrid or where?
Yes, I'm doing this meeting for Madrid. Now it's 10:15 in Madrid, a little bit cold. But one of the main reasons I wanted to do this video is, well, I have a podcast where we come across Islamic issues here in Spain. and I have a platform. It's like Muslim Emprendedores. It means Muslimpreneurs in Spanish. So the idea is that we are trying to build a community and let's say build the entrepreneurs of the future around Islam and not around economy. And we are lacking of people understanding finances that they can really guide us into how a Muslim should deal into finances, right? And that's one of the main problems that we're having here, at least in Spanish. So let's say that Spanish is the second or third most spoken language in the world, but we don't have that many ulema and faqihs that they can really relate these issues, because they are really specialized into, you can go into uh, Spanish world and you can have people specialized on different material because they come from Morocco or they come from another country and they can speak Spanish. But I think for Islamic finances, you need to have a great background into finances or economy so you can understand it properly and then you can give the fatwa. So that's why I wanted to make this video for Spanish people so they can have some easy answers about some topics that they may have questions, and they may go to some mosques and ask the local imam. But I think some of the questions are bigger than than what the imam can solve, saying that he can serve the local community, but if you ask him about trading or drop shipping, he doesn't understand it properly.
I understand you. I agree. It's a complex world, and these topics can get very deep. So it requires a bit more studies and folks to specialize in these topics.
Yeah, I see that in the Arabic world they have people on it, like they speak about it. Pakistani world, like Indian subcontinent people, they have like people specified. UK. So this video that we're gonna do today, it's mainly about two issues that we are dealing with in Spain, and maybe we can resolve it with your permission,
Inshallah.
inshallah. So, one of the first questions that youngsters are dealing with today, we have internet and we have all these TikToks and videos on YouTube, and people they want to earn some money, right? And when they come across these platforms, they get into people promising them gaining a lot of money with trading. So then it comes to the part that they ask themselves, is this halal? Is this haram? And they may try to give an answer like, this is just simple exchange of currency. I'm giving you euros, you're giving me dollars. So that's what I'm doing. It's permissible. Or they might come across some fatwas in English that they don't dive into matter. So I just wanted to ask you, in a general way, is trading halal or haram?
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah. When we talk about trading, the word itself, trading, in itself is a great word. It means I'm giving you something real and I'm taking some money from you. So this is a trade. It's a business. It's commerce. It's the basic transaction in any economy that creates flow of goods in society. Trading is activity through which you put goods into the circulation in economy. Whatever somebody produces, it finds the customer. That is the trading word originally. As compare in Quran, we are comparing trading with riba. And so Allah is saying that trading is not like this. Trading and riba are not similar because one is permissible, one is not permissible. And people who argue against this, they say, but this is all similar. And what's the difference in general? That's a very important point, is that when it comes to the riba, it's a type of profit from just moving money around. There is no real product. So in the trading, this is a very important principle. In the trading, there is a product, something real that you are changing ownership of, you are exchanging, trading. There is somebody, you take ownership of something, you buy something, and then you sell it to the customer who will use it at the end. And the fake trading or riba or the illegitimate type of trading is when you buy and sell something and there is no real product or service there. Just money is moving around. So when it comes to the definition of the trading that we think of trading today in the digital world, trading now means different thing. So for example, if we talk about trading currencies, foreign exchange or forex, most of the forex now is not trading anything. It's what we call engaging in contract for difference, CFD, sorry, contract for difference, CFD. What this means is none of us, we are saying we are trading currencies. And then people say, how we are trading currencies? Well, I want to buy euro, do you want to buy dollars, something, and then if we guess the movement of money, we make some profit. But in reality, a reality of modern trading of, let's say, forex, is that no one is actually buying anything. Okay, so I'm not buying euro, I'm not buying dollars, I'm not selling them. I enter with you or a broker into the contract where we are just saying, if I guess the price based on my knowledge of the market, and maybe I have a great knowledge, maybe I'm really informed what's happening, and I predict in an informed way market, then I get the money, I get the profit. But how do I get the profit? Not by buying actual currency and then selling it later, but by guessing it. And so this way we would call this a gambling. Not because like people think, oh, but I'm informed, I'm not gambling, people who are not knowing what they're doing, they are gambling. No, the idea is that you are not buying and selling anything real in the real world. Okay? So today Forex is very much guessing based on what you can predict. Whether you are informed, very knowledgeable or not, it doesn't make a difference. In reality, it's just you guess the right way, or you predicted, but you did not enter into trading, real trading, or business, or commercial transaction, which is you never bought any currency. So today, this is a big problem because more and more we see even a lot of stocks now, a lot of other commodities, a lot of things are traded through this kind of way, where you are not accepting anything. You are just basically, it's a modern day betting. Just the benchmark is different. We are now betting on commodity, on oil, on stocks, without ever owning them. We are just now guessing, and people give themselves a lot of credit for, oh, I know what's happening, I analyzed it, Trump is gonna go, central bank is gonna do macro policy, that doesn't explain even what's happening, because these markets are in so quick seconds behaving, and in a seconds you are moving up and down rapidly. It's all on so-called leverage, and so there is in reality, people think too much of themselves, even that they know what's happening. None of these government policies or real life movement or sales or acquisition or market movements are happening in these seconds, and that doesn't really reflect anything. It's just a rapid speculative world where you have so small movements in pips, rapidly moving, and it's designed, basically the system is designed that it's so volatile, and most of people would end up losing money. And over the long time, they will lose. 99% of people will lose money. Of course, there is sometimes in the world some real trading where people for real take money, but that's a big end of the town, big banks for real trading, they do that. So I would say this use of technology is misusing the word trading. Trading today really is a very highly speculative activity that is really gambling activities. And the reason why it's gambling is because you are not like a real person in the market who bought something and then they sold that something, so it doesn't, it's not something we as Muslims should be spending or wasting our time, because the profit comes purely from who guess right or wrong, because opposite of what you speculate is your platform. So who will win? It's either you or them. So this is what we call zero-sum game. My loss is your gain. Your gain is my loss. So it's either you or me. It's, because in a trade, it's not like that. You get this that you value. You want a phone and you value it more than $1,000. I value phone, you understand? So if I'm selling you this, I value $1,000. So I get it from you. You value phone, that's why you value phone more than $1,000, right? And I value $1,000 more than a phone. That's why we are exchanging, and both of us get something. In gambling, either you get 100% of everything or I get 100% of your money. There's no product in between, and there's no connection in between. And so this is what creates a little bit of a problem for these kinds of artificial trading. That's what it is. It's just fake trading.
So let's say that in general, trading is not permissible, right?
Look, there is a trading where, let's say if we go to stocks and other things, where there is a discussion between people, when you actually buy for real stocks, for example, not currency, it's all through this contract of this, but sometimes you could have a trading where you for real buy stocks, although much of that is also now through these contracts for difference. But let's say for argument's sake, you buy actual stocks and then you're buying and selling them quickly. So some people would consider, because you now bought it and you're selling it, that is permissible. I would even for these kind of activities say that this is because it's very quick and we are just between each other doing that. There is no end customer. We are between each other just bouncing back. Is that, I can't say it's not permissible, but it's pretty much wasteful activity. It's activity that doesn't really benefit anybody. And it's a very speculative. It goes against the purpose for which we have a market, which is that stock market is something where you raise money, there is investments, you want to earn money through being partner in the business. Now gamifying the market, making it into the game, it's almost like creating casino from it, especially when you have high frequency computer trading algorithms that execute transactions in nanoseconds. And so therefore you are just between you and other traders creating like almost the game from the market. I personally don't like it. I don't think I consider even that in my mind as a gambling. But I am fully aware that in that, at least there is something that's happening, and a lot of people would say, no, that's not gambling, it's a trade, it's permissible. I say, my feeling is that it is something that creates very addictive casino-like economy, and something that is totally useless. I don't believe in this price discovery, liquidity, all of these things that people are saying. I believe in real supply and demand and real investment and partnership in business, and that's the purpose. And by gamifying the entire market, I think we are creating a problem later on.
How about, Professor, investing in stocks, long-term stocks? For example, someone buys from Apple, someone buys from Microsoft, and he buys a share from these companies, if he can, and then he just holds it, and maybe in 10 years he wants to sell these stocks.
Buying stocks in general is permissible if they pass Sharia compliance test. meaning that business is something that in its core is permissible, and financial and other analysis leads us to conclude that this is something that where we can invest. Now, when you invest in stock, you want to become like, you are becoming almost like a partner in the business. So what you want, why you're buying the stock, is to profit from underlying performance of that business, so that you share in the profit from that business. Okay, so if you invest in 12 months, 2 years, 5 years, that's all fine. Now the screening for that, finding that today we are dealing with a lot of these companies, it's important to screen them because there would be a lot of other mix of permissible and impermissible things. So if you find a good stock and you believe it's doing the right thing and you want to be part of it, especially for people with a lot of money, or they have a pension fund, so they have to park money somewhere, that is one of those permissible ways. You can do that. You have to do a little bit more work, but if you're genuinely putting the money for long-term, for genuine investment, I think that's fine. And that's why even in conventional finance, if you go to university, they will differentiate between speculators and investors. Investor is usually a person who is investing like long-term, and speculator is somebody who just investing, so-called investing, just speculates, just quick, maybe minutes, hours, or few days they're holding their stocks.
So, doing a quick research for this video, I found out about some kind of halal brokers. I've been like researching, and I've seen some Reddit forums talking about these halal brokers. I only found one, but I saw that they were asking about the Sharia compliance and how they are complying with Sharia, and they were not answering properly. So is there really any halal brokers that can make people get into this trading world, or we would say that the whole market is just corrupted and doesn't make sense to get into this?
Well, if I go through the different questions that you ask, so if I start with accounts that are on Forex, that are claiming they are Islamic accounts on Forex, that's impossible. Issue with Forex is not interest. There is no interest in Forex. They say it's interest. It's a different measurement when you're doing it overnight. They call it interest. That's not interest. The problem is you are not buying and selling money. So there's no loan. There is no leverage in money. There's just leverage in position for the calculation purposes. And interest there is almost like insurance, these differentials. And so when they say we are Islamic because we remove this interest, no, the point here is not interest in the Forex. It's you are not buying and selling anything. You are getting profit without buying and selling by guessing the price, all right? So contract for difference for anything cannot be Islamic. It's a purest form of gambling. So when it comes to the brokers or anybody, well, look, you judge based on, they wouldn't be like necessarily, what would mean Islamic broker? Is it somebody who specializes in Islamic finance or Islamic filtering of the stocks or something? Okay, if there is something like that, sure, there are firms that are investing according to some of these principles. There are funds, organizations, apps. They try to filter, offer advice. You have either robo-advisory, where you have like algorithm advising you in the app, or there are these funds and they have maybe a financial advisor, analyst who can tell you what is right, what is wrong. Sometimes they have these ETFs, which is a collection of certain stocks of some kind that people can invest. So you have to judge it based on how well they do what they say they will do. Okay, like for example, with what's happening in Gaza recently, a lot of my friends who invest, I hear one of additional filters that they use is who is maybe investing in genocide, who is on the boycott list from BDS, and so on. So they would see maybe there's a great ETF, they say according to some of these stocks they are Islamic, but they would be on closely supporting IDF, for example, AI or technology or servers. And so a lot of people would find these kind of things also making it to these lists. But if you can find your way, it is not an easy. You have to understand that much of these companies that we call Islamically passing these filters, they are not Islamic companies. They don't know even that they pass your Sharia compliance filter. They just happen to be passing those filters. And these filters are very generous, meaning they have very big tolerance for certain impermissible things. So, but if somebody has got a lot of money, if there is a fund that invests in pension, especially like in Australia, for example, you have to invest part of your money somewhere like that, and you are then finding these funds are finding where do we invest money. So it's not easy job for them. So they always look, what is the way that I invest and that has the least problems, least non-compliant issues, and so this is you have to sort of go through that list and be conscious of how do I invest in the companies, especially today where every company has interest, So how do I get rid of this? How do I maybe purify to some degree? So there could be people who specialize, who are trying to help people with this issue.
Another question that we would have talking about this is what are the risks that these youngsters may have in an Islamic way of entering this world? Why Islam just doesn't allow this? And they may say like, why everyone around me is trading, everyone is earning money, and me, because I'm Muslim, I'm not getting this opportunity. Why we are getting banned from this?
For your own good, for the good of society, for everybody's good, is that you want to make money from things that are good for people. What is good for people is that we make business benefit people, benefit humanities, and that your profit come when you give benefit to people. We shouldn't have society that finds the profit from the things that harm other people. So in Islam, we prohibit making money from gambling, making money from selling things that are poisoning people like drugs or alcohol, making money from anything that is not in the interest of society, that is dividing families, making us unsafe. I was just yesterday watching one politician here. He wants to allow cannabis in Australia to legalize. And I was just looking at the arguments, and they say it's safe and all of that. And then I went to do a little research, and I found cannabis makes person less alert when driving. Their motor skill, response skill weaken. And so it's more dangerous. So imagine we are saying, well, we allow alcohol, we allow this, why not this? And so we are creating generations of people who are taking these things. They are going to be more danger on the road, more getting normalization towards the drug use and so on. And in the similar way, when we are talking about society, we want society to cooperate together. When you make money in a society that makes everybody, I'm against you, because when you do this, it's called zero-sum game. Either you get everything or you lose everything. So me and you are always in competition against each other. It's win-lose situation. So Islam wants to save you. That's why if you look at reality of Forex, for example, almost everybody loses money from this. There's no winners. Nobody's getting rich from Forex. Only people who get rich is the platforms and people who sell courses about it. Nobody else is getting rich. Nobody else. They can win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then eventually they lose it. It's like a gambling. you know. So this is the situation that we have, and unfortunately, a lot of young people, they will lose a lot of time and money and in their life until they figure out that this was a scam, just like this get-rich-quick scheme and so on. All of these things are there to protect you, but you don't see it now. You are lied, and they told you it's a great opportunity to get rich, to get your money. They give you a little course, and now you think you understand the economy, you will beat the system and everything, and you don't understand. You are gambling against the house, and the house always wins.
It's funny because now it's getting popular that they are opening Telegram groups and they are saying, you don't need to pay a course, you don't need to pay nothing. You just bet with me, and I will show you how to trade. Just get into my positions, and you will win money. And they do not know that the people on the other side, they are betting against this whole chat. So this is how they're getting money, and it's a pretty sad thing that we're having with Muslim youngsters and with youngsters in general. And one of the other questions that they may say is, okay, I have some money and I want to invest, and I cannot invest in trading. Maybe I can invest in stocks. What are the other options that we have that we can invest as Muslims?
Look, I mean, I don't mind people, young people, whatever they do, they invest. It's good. Okay, you buy some stocks, buy something, you know, like that, just so you have some education, how it works, what it is. But the most important thing for young people now would be to invest in themselves, to build their skills. Like you learn some skill, for example. Let's say you are a young person. Okay, learn coding, make an app, put it on the Apple Store, try to sell it. Okay, it's never been better time to start some kind of a business. Get a group of you, say, what can we do? Let's see, make a, I don't know, even video game, you know, on the phone. Anything, like make something that is your passion, that you are studying, that you are learning. Start a little business, try to make money, find a way to monetize something by making something. Become producer in this economy. Produce something, some content, products, service, anything. Collect your money, put money, invest in that. And that will teach you, you will learn. Or if you know somebody who has idea, put the money into that business, and then you can observe it, get involved in that startup and help and contribute, and you learn and you grow. This is much better way to learn, experience, and so on. Because think about all of these people. Like you know, I know it's very popular to talk about Elon Musk and stuff, you know. How did these people, or Steve Jobs, how did these people get into these things? From the young age, if you read biography of Steve Jobs, he was trying to fix something, some electronics. Even as a young kid, he made device that can produce sound, and when they put it on the telephone, that olden days payphones, it would override the switching board and make long distance calls. And he would sell it. It was illegal, but he would, you know, play with the technology. And then he would build a little computer and talk to people and build a bigger computer and found the company and find investors. And even then he got kicked out from his own company, Apple, you know, then he came back. But this is the life. You try this, fail, build it, make something, whatever it is. And that's, believe me, better. You learn better than any university or course can teach you. Specialize in something, learn something, be the best in what you can learn at your university, whatever that is, and try to make it into some kind of a business or support it or something like that. Be active in that. This is what I would say. Try something or help somebody, support somebody. Even if you don't have money, you could go and say, okay, can I support you, help you? Whatever that business is. Today, so many ways you can do so many things. So this is what I would say to the people. You see, nobody ever really, if you want to get rich and powerful, and you know, You're not gonna get rich by just buying some stock in Tesla, in whatever. What's that gonna do? Like, even if you make money, you're just gonna make a bit more money. And what after 25 years, what's gonna happen? Okay, now you have $1 million house, $1 million car, and what? You don't have any skill. You didn't change anything. You are not impacting anything. Even if you make $100 million, okay, what can you do? You're not gonna make 100 million, like you're just gonna make some money and whatever, But do you want to be part of changing something, doing something, trying something, improving yourself? Even just the skill. Become like engineer, great one, that can now make something really solid, tangible. I think this is a much more ambitious way, much more serious way that can lead you somewhere, that you become valuable. You become valuable, knowledge, skills, experience, gain it, push yourself in that direction. You have young kids from 10 years of age, he starts selling lemonade, and then you see him. I was just interviewing in Istanbul, one young man. He left after high school, university, everything to start tailoring business. Now he's developing app for e-commerce in Turkey. That will be, inshallah, like an Alibaba or Temu of Turkey, And, by the time he was 20, from the age of 18 to 20, he already made hundreds of thousands of dollars from his business. He employed 5-6 people immediately. Then he went around the world, expanded the business and so on. So you learn from that. And you feed your confidence, because once you start doing something like that, courageous, it feeds your confidence and skill, and then you start figuring out, and you realize, what, these 99% of these entrepreneurs, they're not smarter than you. It's just they tried it and they figured out this is not it's not that complicated. You can figure it out if you focus your attention to it. And you start little by little, and these things open up. So it's really not that complicated. Things are not that complicated. You don't have to just say, how do I give somebody else money so that they work and I enjoy? That mindset will get us nowhere as a ummah. Where we always think, let somebody else do the thing. And I will always be passive investor, always passive income, passive investment. What do you want to be like? You want to be in a grave sitting and things coming up, like doing nothing, and everybody else is going to be active, and somehow you will end up being leader. It's not going to happen. You need to be more active than everybody else.
Great advice, Professor. Great advice. I saw your episode with the entrepreneur that is planning to make Turkish Alibaba, and inshallah he will. And as you say, first you learn, then you earn, and we sadly have the opposite. We want to earn before learning, and once you earn, and maybe just some people will have the opportunity to earn without learning. But what value has money without knowledge? And what value has a Muslim person without having knowledge, when Islam asks us to seek knowledge every time? وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. And he keeps saying that you need to go for knowledge, not for money. And we are doing the opposite thing. And that's why we're having this trouble with our youngsters. And another thing that I wanted to ask you is that youngsters, they may get into social media, as I said before, and one option they have as internet solution to get rich, this quick rich scheme, is one of them is trading, and the another thing that someone really young without money is dropshipping. And we already talked about this in WhatsApp way before, like 2 months before. But I wanted to have this also documented, so inshallah young people will watch this video and they get an answer about this. So the thing is that we see a lot of e-commerce solution, e-commerce is growing fastly. Some people, they do not have money and they find a solution which is called dropshipping. So, is it dropshipping halal or haram? Supongo que también quieres saber si el dropshipping es halal o haram, pero eso va a ser para el siguiente vídeo. Pero antes de poder ver la respuesta te voy a pedir algo muy simple. Vas a ver un link en la descripción abajo. Es una newsletter gratuita donde suelo dar consejos de todo tipo, incluso estos de finanzas islámicas, obviamente asesorado con personas que conocen de la materia. Entras abajo, pinchas www.muslimemprendedores.com y únete. Y además te comento que tenemos una comunidad de Muslim Emprendedores que es una comunidad de pago, pero que estamos creciendo continuamente. Si alguno de vosotros quiere participar, también tenéis el link debajo. Nos vemos en el próximo vídeo.